If you want to learn the process to embodying and empowering the feminine spirit, then check out the book, Healing the Feminine Energy and the Wounds of Your Inner Child. All right, so we're talking, is gender a social construct? And we're using this book that I recently read called The End of Gender. It's by Dr. Debra Soh. She's a sexologist and a neuroscientist, but even more importantly, she's actually a former feminist, right? But, basically we live in a time where we are no longer confident on what a man or a woman is. It feels even stupid even to make a video like this. It feels like we finally got to the point of the highest level of stupidity that humans could possibly get to. But here we are, here we are. So we got to debunk this. Many people can, claim that gender is a social construct. They totally ignore any influence of biology, psychology, neurology, spirituality, and so on, right? But actually, as this book tells you, they are very much biological constructs. They are structures from nature, and there is no real argument against this. But let's get into this, right? At the heart of it, sex is defined by gametes, and what we mean by that is gametes are basically, if eggs or sperm cells. So if you're a woman, of course you produce egg cells. If you're a man, you produce sperm cells, right? This is basics. But again, all of this stuff seems to be just totally overlooked by the modern society that we're living in at the moment. Anyway, there are no other types of gametes. So we start there. So if it is true that there are 72 genders, right? And each gender has a different place on the spectrum, as the modern people say today, or some people say, because it's not everyone. And under the traditional view, each gender has a gamete that is linked to it. Well, there is no 72 gametes. Do you get what I'm saying? There's only the sperm or the egg, and you're only producing one of those two. Or even if you have certain conditions, perhaps, there could be certain issues like intersex people, but that's a whole nother topic, and those are exceptions. Generally, there is no different, there's no third gamete for the third gender. So when it comes down to it, it is binary, and there's no such thing as non-binary. So sex is totally biological. It's a construct of nature. It's a design of God, nature, universe, whatever you want to call it. And there's little evidence to support anything else. So even though people might say, we know the arguments that they say, where is the logical explanation, right, and the science to back up what they're saying? So when it comes down to it, it's interesting because it means that what they're saying is a social construct, because you can't find evidence there's no evidence to back up anything that they're saying. What they're saying is made up. There's evidence to back up biology saying, or the fact that gender is a biological construct, but there's no evidence to suggest that it's a social construct. And even when you look at different cultures and places around the world that wouldn't have had a connection, right? So let's say in the ancient medieval world, South America didn't have a connection with the West, right? Or England, for example, right? So even where there's a separation in cultures, for some reason, right? And we know the reason is biology actually, but for some reason, they're still coming on one accord and in agreement in terms of what each gender is, or the fact that there's only man and there is only woman. But anyway, comment down below what you think on this topic. Even though I know what the truth is, I'm not really non-judgmental from other people sharing their perspectives. So feel free to comment down below whether you agree or disagree, and we'll cover the next topic in the next video. Peace. More than any other time in human history, a restoration, a repair, a respect for the feminine energy is needed. And if you want to check out the process to healing the feminine energy, then you can check out the book, which is available digitally or in print form.